Today I'm going to be showing you some super trendy hairstyles for summer. I am a licensed cosmetologist and I've also been doing weddings for many years, so I'm going to show you all of the tips and tricks that I use every day on my clients to do on yourself at home. So if you want to recreate these hairstyles on your own hair, or if you have fine hair and you're trying to think of something to do, something cute to go out with, keep watching and I'll show you all of the products that I use. What you'll need are some elastics. I have the ones that are like specific for hair color, so I'm going to be using dark brown because my roots are a little bit more brown than the rest of my hair. You're also going to need bobby pins. I am using bobby pins that are honestly the same color as my hair at the root, maybe not at the ends, but that doesn't really matter at this point. You're also going to need a rat tail comb and a regular brush. This first hairstyle I'm so excited to show you guys. It has a claw clip in it, or you can wear it without. So you're going to start by sectioning the very top crown section of your hair out, and then we're going to tie that with an elastic. First, I actually twist the hair just like that, so it gives it some texture at the top, just so I can have a little bit of lift up there. So you're going to take your elastic and you're just going to secure that tight onto the crown section of your head. And then you're going to see me kind of pull it apart a little bit at the very top, just to give it a little bit of lift right there, so it's not super flat to my head. Next, you're going to take these sections right here in the front. That's as much hair as I would like to leave out, because this is more of like a half up, half down hairstyle. And I don't like slicking my hair back, so I like to have a couple of pieces in the front to frame it. So I'm going to take one of those sides, I twirled it around my fingers, and what I'm doing right here is I'm going to pull the hair out. So like I said, I don't want it super tight to my head, I want it more loose, so that's more of like a boho style. Right here, I am going to tie the elastic to another section of hair so that it stays firm and in place. The problem that I have with hairstyles like this is my hair slips out of the clips a lot, so that's why I like to tie it with a hair tie, and especially if you have fine hair, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next section, and before I pull it back, I'm just pulling out those front pieces right by my ear, and I left that very front piece out right in front of my head. So I'm twisting this section, then I'm going to pull it out slightly, just down, just like that. I'm going to take one section, you just saw my finger pick it out. It doesn't need to be super big. And this is going to be hidden by the little tiny bun up there. So you'll see when I'm done, I'm going to pull my hair down and you'll be able to see the elastics, but when we're all done, it will be covered. So it should look like this. And I'm just fixing the very top. Okay, so we are going to use basically another elastic as an anchor point so that I can pull this in a little tiny hole that goes all the way to the crown section, so I can pull it all the way through. I'm going to make that hole, put it underneath there, and I use my thumb on that elastic to push it up so it doesn't get all messed up, so it's a lot easier. Then you're going to tighten it, and you're going to spread out that tiny little bun right there. Because I have thin hair, I don't really have a lot of hair to spread out. So what I'm going to do after this is actually take a couple of bobby pins after I pull some of it up, and we're going to secure it down on both sides. Okay, so I'm actually going to make it a little bit more straight. I do take a mirror so that I can see how it looks from the front and the back. So you'll see me do that from time to time. So if you have a claw clip, it looks super cute, just clipped right underneath right there. And I keep seeing this all over Pinterest and TikTok. For those of you who still use Pinterest, I'm a millennial, so it looks super cute, it's super fun for summer, and if you want to try it, let me know how it goes. Okay, for our second look, it's actually going to be a braid, but it's not a French braid or a Dutch braid. As long as you can 3-strand braid, then you'll be fine. So right there, I'm going to pull my hair back where I want it to start on the very top crown section of my head. I'm kind of making more of like a diamond section right there. And we're gonna pull that up. I'm taking the back section up. And we're gonna tie this with an elastic. I'm not actually going to make this tight to my head because you'll see why in just a second. I'm actually gonna be making a hole right there. We're gonna pull the bottom of it straight through. And then we're gonna make it tight to our head. This makes some of the hair go up and it gives it a little bit of volume. And as you can see, the crown section of my head is kind of thin, so we need all the volume we can get. Next, you're gonna take about 2 inches to 1.5 inches section in the very, very front where your hair parts. And this is where our braid is gonna be. So I'm just gonna regularly 3-strand braid this section right here. So it's nothing crazy, it's normal as if you were just braiding your own hair. So as you're braiding, you want to stop and spray your hair with a texture spray so that it's not too soft, so you can actually pull that braid out. You just take the very corners and you start pulling it up and away from your face so that it can make the braid a little bigger. Okay, so now that we have our braid where it should be, I tied an elastic right there. This is super easy. You're just gonna make a little hole at the very bottom section. You're gonna hold that top piece up and you're just gonna pull it right through just like that. And then once we flip that over, we're gonna secure it with the elastic on the other side. So I'm just gonna pull that tight to my head. Now you're gonna do the same thing with your braid that we just did. We're just gonna adjust it a little bit. I like it to be pretty big right here. I just, the more the volume, the better. And as you can see in the very front, it looks really good. It doesn't even look like this wasn't just a regular braid. So I'm teasing this section just to give it a little bit of volume. And then I'll show you the back. This took me maybe like 2 minutes. It was super fast and super cute. Okay, so for our third style, we're gonna be brushing our hair straight back in the very front. And it's gonna be basically like a little textured top area. So I take my rat tail comb and I actually weave that section out so that you can't see a harsh part line, just because you can easily see my scalp right there. And then we're gonna repeat it and do the exact same thing on 3 sides. So it's gonna be basically the whole front and crown area of your head. You're gonna take each section, tie it with an elastic, and you're gonna leave it a little bit loose at the back. Now that I have my 3 sections, I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do in the middle. So you're gonna make a little hole, you're gonna pull that hair through underneath it, and then you're gonna pull that middle section tight. Then you're gonna choose one side, and we're gonna be changing it over to the other side. So we're gonna put a hole, flip it over, and we're gonna pull the middle section through that little hole right there. Make sure you secure it on your head every time so it stays tight. Now for our last one, we're gonna take that side, we're gonna do the same thing, flip it over, and then pull all of the middle section through this time. And then we're gonna pull it tight. Take your texture spray, we're just gonna spray the very back of it, and we're gonna tease it so that these 3 sections look more like a little ponytail on the back of your head. And then you're just gonna fluff it up and style it how you usually would. Super cute. I love this style. It only took me literally about a minute to do. It's something that's really good if you're on the go. If you want to try these hairstyles, all of the products that I use will be linked below in the description. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.